Okay, it looks like we're back into it. Welcome back, ladies and gents, at the start, kind of the start of the second match. And it's still a great night for PUBG. We're still rooting for the top team, so let me see who the top team that you're rooting for is in the chat. Make up a heck of a lot of fuss in there. In the meantime, though, we have spotted ourselves a first circle here, Moses. It looks to be on the military island, and we saw the last from Rogue, ex-Air Station Mike, rotate early on. Looks like Method are going to be following them as well. And as a side note, I suppose, I know for a fact that Andy is quite the legend in this area here. You might not know this, but he actually killed Shroud a couple of times in Millie Base.
Oh, well, I was not aware of that. However, looking at the way Method has positioned themselves, they do have a decent spot here. No immediate way out for Andy here, as he's going to get down by this nade. So it looks like Ewan was actually just traded. So he took down Andy, and AC came to his rescue. So good trade there, but Andy is not going to be able to get res here, as it looks like Fuffins has that spot on lockdown. Turtle now coming to support. Yank and Jazza are across the way and have not started moving in that area. So it looks like Fuffins is going to have to hold this all on his own just for now.
Yes, indeed. And it's a bit of a dire spot right now for the lads of Method. Soon discovered that there's enemies quite close to them. Turtle beaching his bike as well as Andy did before. But the downside to Andy is that he's knocked out. And there's nobody that's actually able to cross there, as Fuffins is holding on with his SKS. Nobody would dare from Method right now to peek on and save Andy. So more than likely, Method are going to have to play as 3 in this battle. And it's going to be a battle, I see, because one of these two teams are going to have to come out on top pretty soon because they're so split up. But, oh, check this one out. Leighton, the hero of the day, comes in and saves his fallen teammate. I don't think Fuffins has any kind of say in this scenario here. He will be sticking an 8x on top of his SKS, but that's not going to be helping him some, as Andy will get res indeed. And from the fact that they have rifles, and from the fact that I've spotted them having level 1 and level 2 armors and helmets and whatnot, I'm pretty sure they're going to have themselves some first aid kits as well. So Andy is not in the dire position that he was just minutes ago. Well, this is something of a silver lining, I suppose, for Method. But now they're going to have to make their way out of there, and that's not an easy task.
So it looks like Fuffins is going to eliminate the use of that vehicle. So Andy and Leighton are going to be stuck in that little bunker with getting caught out, holding that peak just a little bit too long. Was AC taking one in the teeth there. Now it looks like it gave Leighton a bit of an opportunity to jump up and see what's going on. Right now, Fuffins is doing a great job of zoning all of Method, taking a little bit of return fire now, as Andy putting some pressure back. They have to get out of here. I don't know if their loot's in 100% great shape, but very few meds on Andy at the very least, so he's going to rotate around here. I have not seen any response from Rogue. Rogue has not moved over to help with Fuffins' fight right now. They are still across the way. So I'm not sure what Rogue's game plan is right now, if Fuffins just acting as a distraction, or if this is something of a bigger plan here for Rogue.
Yes, indeed. It doesn't look like they're making any kind of a move at this moment in time. YNCK could potentially have some sort of an angle if he goes towards the factory area. But until he does, Leighton and Andy have somewhat of a shot against their opponents. And Leighton now peeking out. Oh, he has to be careful. He's got a level 1 Helmy. Will protect him slightly so. Oh! From an SKS shot to the dome, but Andy takes one himself. Actually, I think it was a body shot on that one there. But yeah, taking up a heck of a lot of damage now. Fuffins still has to fire, still has to make a lot of noise until his teammates, or if his teammates do come in to help him out, as this wouldn't be an easy choice for him to actually hold on to his spot. And you can see AT and Turtle already on the back flank. So by all means and purposes, I think Rogue might have just given up on Fuffins. There's no chance to res him here. To save him here, rather. Res will happen from Andy, though, because one of his teammates got down indeed. And the nade goes in. Fuffins is going to have to play the stair angle. Knows that his enemies are on the outside, so now he's going to have to play this one as careful as possible there. Probably switch to the 2x. No, actually switch to the M4. The M4 is not indeed scoped in, but it doesn't really matter. Fuffins gets downed and killed. That's going to be the first one to fall from Rogue.
So that was a really good response here. You can see already YNCK backing off. YNCK was coming to rotate, but just wasn't coming quite fast enough. So that was actually really nice from Method there, as we see. Looks like Vis has picked himself up a bit of a bush here, as well as that Mark 14 we were talking about the last game. That was well played by Method. They were in a bit of a spot there, having to try and break him out. Fuffins held that compound up pretty high effect and took a lot of time away from Method. But Method is going to be able to get out of this 4 up with Rogue now a little bit damaged here in the early game.
That will be the case indeed. And we see Tuho Yuho make his way onto a boat, putting in some shots. on his enemies here. FCS Po is a team that has recently shown up, Moses, in the EU area. They've been performing quite good, quite exemplary. They've qualified. I think they were the first ones in their lobby to qualify in when we had the qualifiers in auzom. They've also done well, I think, in GLL as well. These guys are showing up pretty good right now in Europe, whereas nobody would have heard of them, let's say, a month ago. You wouldn't have heard much about FCS Po.
Well, we're in a bit of a
I'm pretty happy to see a lot of teams come in. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, we're in a bit of a gold rush right now. All these tournaments now able to offer some prizes, and that's going to draw a lot of interest from people who, you know, have decided like, hey, I could take a run at this thing. We see Drayden here looting in the middle of this open road, no one really around. So out well outside the zone, a little bit of a transition still coming there as we see Krema coming in to pick him up. Stab actually coming through as well. Got to be a little bit careful. The Knight's popping out. Oh, got to be a little careful indeed. Stab taken down and out very quickly there. That's just a case of bad timing for Stab, Boogie.
Absolutely. There was nothing that, you know, he could have done in this situation here. Of course, he saw someone get down. He probably went, you know, thought, yo, that's an easy kill. I'm gonna get myself some free loot from that one too. But yeah, Lumbermill lose themselves a member. I'm not too sure where the rest of. Actually, he got knocked out, so there has to be more members of Lumbermill. We'll have a look and see if we can discover them. I can't really see them on the map. We'll have a look later on and see what happened there. But yeah, anyway, TSM, I see their position and I like it. They have themselves a very decent spot upon a top to work with here. In the meantime, Espo have taken out of their boats and fallen on the south flank of the South Island, very south here. But they're quite close to Krip. I think Krip might know where they are. Mini Fridge as well. I don't know if Didgery has any chances here.
I don't think they're aware. Now they're going to be aware. They can hear the shots popping off. Immediately you see Krip turning around to maybe return fire. FCE has come up on these rocks. They do have decent cover on both sides. Krip can maneuver here around to get a little bit closer. So I'm not sure if this was just a case of circumstance here. It looked like Noxious had come up this way and have maybe taken the same path, just a little bit ahead of FCE. But now they're engaged here in a medium distance fight on the edge of the zone. So they have some time to work this out. But we'll see how FCE kind of maneuvers here.
Looks like they're going to be moving towards the compound here. Krip and Midi want the same thing, so it will move from a open area fight to a compound fight, so closer to an urban warfare type of deal, where actually Noxious are pretty good. But it doesn't look like Noxious are going to be heading towards the same compound either. Actually, they're rather much set themselves away from that current position right now. As you can see, Mini Fridge and Krip holding on to the same spot there. They're going to be covered in by Mr. and Crispy. Actually, no, they're not. Mr. and Crispy are busy taking themselves a little piece of the puzzle. And yeah, that's an unfortunate time. I don't know if Krip and Mini can actually get out of this one here. I do believe that Espo should have some sort of a lining, some sort of a line of sight. It doesn't look like they have anyway at this moment in time. But if we look somewhere else on the map, we can see that two teams are trying to make it from the same spot, more specifically northwest area of the current white. We'll see Zerkt and Nam and Vexed that might potentially have at it pretty soon.
Yeah, we see Zokti Nam here has wide open view on Vex. No shots coming out just yet. I'm not sure if they're waiting for them to stop or what's happening here, but Vex moving through the open, clearly in line of sight. Maybe just a little bit too far for Dingle Rapes to start shooting. Tracing, waiting, nothing happening just yet. Vex maybe unaware of his presence. Something's got to happen here. Take the shot, Broder. He's right there, man. Not going to happen.
I guess maybe you're... Sorry, go ahead.
There we go. I was just going to say they're outside the zone. Maybe they don't want to start this thing. They're maybe trying to count the players as they ran past. But they've waited now to a point where the circle's going to start moving. They do land almost a down there. More pressure coming. But they're going to be at the zone at their back here. And they're going to land maybe one kill out of this with the rest of Vex getting away. Now able to return fire closer into the zone.
And there comes the return fire indeed. Brenash will be not taking any damage. So it looks like Zuktanam will be safe to move it into the safety of the white using a different ridge. Vex in the meantime have lost one member. This is a fight that we'll have to pick up later on, because there's no way that these two teams can avoid each other unless Zuktanam would rather go for a very south-sided push. But because the circle is strangling, they're more likely to actually go west straight up. Now, Penta trying to make their way in from the water, it seems, and towards Novo, which is arguably, some say it would be the easier side of pushing out on the military island. I don't necessarily agree with that, because you can have a lot of teams inside of Novo, which isn't the case right now. As you can see, there's just one team at this moment in time trying to gatekeep them, but I don't even think they're actively trying to gatekeep them. Exalt Gaming just are just happy to be inside the circle. It seems like.
Yeah, we see here Vis putting some pressure onto Purge here. They're trying to get this res off. So Vis using that Mark 14 to full effect right now, as it looks like Noxious is now receiving pressure from the rest of TSM up on this ridge here. So they're trying to get in here. I don't fault Zokti Nam just for the record's sake for not taking those shots earlier, as it looks like they were going to pull away and do the guerrilla warfare tactic, as just kind of hitting and moving. But I think they could have landed 2 kills there, as we see Noxious avoiding the withering fire of TSM.
Yes, indeed. Again, have a look at Zukta Nam this time around. Vex is going to be gatekeeping them. Well, kind of would have been the case before, but Vex weren't allowed to come in there. One of the members from Vex, Larry, has been knocked out as well, so Zukta Nam got to be fast on their heels with this push here. Smoke deployed. Reese is going to be going for the rest, so Zukta Nam have an idea that there's just one guy pushing, or sorry, one guy holding the angle right now. So that's why they're peeking into their side, trying to find themselves a handy frag. Doesn't look like it's going to be happening, so they would much rather find themselves an easier opportunity to come close to their enemies at this point in time, which they do indeed. And this is the ideal place to push in from on that very combat that Vexed are right now. Where Zukta Nam are coming, they have much higher chances, as you can use the tree line to their advantage. Otherwise, if they would have pushed from that western position as they were before, they would have gotten themselves in a very bad spot, it feels like. But now that Bruder is pushing in, Vexed might be in a bit of a pressure. Looks like they've already left. They've already left the yellow house that they were in with that res, and they're going to try to find themselves a nicer place to fight from. Wow, that's a very defensive move.
Yeah, I was hoping to see that they would maybe try and zone them there, but that, to be fair, that area is very complex, a lot of ridges, lots of trees they can get behind. So they did have an opportunity to try and zone them a few minutes back. It just didn't work out that way, as we see here back from Zarki being observed. I think Noxious might have spotted them out. They're wide in the open here. Lots of players. Crispier waiting. Maybe he's just calling, team, come help me. There's a whole team coming this way. Let's murder him. I don't think he has the support right now. No shots coming out here. Another interesting, maybe there's waiting to try and get a bit of a different position here. Crispier moving up, getting closer. Oh, they're below him on the ridge now, so nothing he can do just yet. But Crispier's put himself in line of set of other teams as well here, Boogie.
Yeah, indeed. He's a bit in the open. Not a lot of teams are actually going to be able to see him still, though. It's a very courageous move by Crispy. Grip's going to be helping him out there as well. They note that they might have to clear this enemy squad at this point, because they might be indeed gatekeeping them. But they decide to go for the safe option here, as their enemies are going to be taking fire from somewhere else, it seems. And it looks like Grip and Crispier will be leaving that spot. Noxious prefer to play together rather than getting themselves dinked down. Of course, there's very good individual talent in the current lineup of Noxious. They have very powerful hunters, very powerful riflers, and well, Mr. Crispy, pretty much everybody in that lineup is very good. So you can see that is the reason why they're kind of, one of them is pushing while the other one's kind of wait for the others. Yeah, anyway, let's have a look at Espo, because they're in a bit of a doozy. Looks like they're going to get pushed by a different squad, and this is an unfortunate moment, because right now Espo are caught between a rock and a hard place, it seems here. Blade Sito coming in here, LFO, the rest of it are following suit. Let's see if Espo has any chance at this. They don't, as gets knocked out and taken down. The rest of Espo are going to be trying to put some shots in return, but it's not necessarily an easy task to do. 3 squads now on Espo.
Espo, rock and a hard place and another hard place, as even Crispy are getting in the action there up the hill. FCE just kind of ran into this triangle of death, as all of these players just came out of nowhere and just completely wiped them. Juho left up, but now Crip and company, Noxious getting into it with Wookie Bookie going down. Now it looks like Lumber Mill is going to have the fire turned on them, as FCE is just dancing around looking for some level of cover. This is going to be full-on survival mode now for Juho.
Absolutely. And we'll see how it pans out. It seems like Lumber Mill have lost themselves a member earlier on. If you remember, Stab got taken out of his vehicle when he met the Knight. So that makes things that much harder, of course, for the rest of Lumber Mill. In the meantime, Simsy, the last, or not the last one, but the only one from Penta pushing in from the south side of the circle. His teammates, we saw them earlier on into Novo. Let's see if Simsy has any chance to enter, because he's going to have to go in through a heck of a lot of squads. He stops by, takes himself an energy drink. He knows that this is going to be a long draw entrance to the circle. And it looks like, have a look at this. This is an interesting rotation coming in from Lumber Mill, it looks like they have themselves some sort of piece of the pie. They managed to barely avoid the lads from Noxious Gaming, but Simsy's still in there behind, and Simsy could come through here. It looks like his teammates are coming in to help him as well, so he might get aggressive. Let's see if he chooses
He's gonna
to do
he's
that.
gonna pick up a kill here. Wookie Bookie going down. Lumber Mill still being flanked perpetually as they try and get in the zone here. Now getting into it with oh, there goes Trifley, just saying like, hey, it's enough out of you. So Simsy going down, knocked out here. We see Noxious kind of trying to hold that zone right now. Gustav being downed. Juho still holding on to hope that he can live into the end game here. Teams now getting engaged along this right side of the circle. A lot of density of teams around here, Boogie.
Absolutely, man. I'm not too sure if Trifili can make it out of here with, I don't know, by in the next circle, staying alive. That's just kind of a magician kind of legendary move. Like, honestly, I don't see it how at this point in time, themselves getting pushed in by 3 teams and have themselves blocked in the safety of the white by Noxious Gaming is anywhere to their advantage at this moment in time. It looks like Noxious Gaming aren't making a move just yet, but in the meantime, Tuchel made a bit of push there. I think it was AIM that actually took a shot on him. And now that he spots his enemies closer to him, he's going to be taking shots indeed. Tomiel eats a few bullets. Tuchel now on the top side, trying to push in here, and he's going to be doing quite good damage against Tomiel. But Lux is pushing it from a different perspective, and this is the time when Tuchel should run potentially, because he doesn't necessarily have any kind of chance to survive this battle.
Oh, wow. Oh, man. I was going to say, I looked like Tuojo was going to pull that one out. Lux going to like 2 HP right there. That jumping no scope spray almost cost him there as he goes now for the res. So that was a bit of a clutch moment there from Lux. That was excellently played. Well, it was luckily played, but excellent result regardless, as we see FCE eliminated here. Meanwhile, we see Noxious Gaming rotating still at full strength, carefully just below them. I don't think they're aware of his presence, so they're just opting to get into the zone, pushing that gap, the thing you see common in teams. Circle will move slower in the direction they are running because it's closer to the new play zone. Tamil and Lux ahead of them now. So lurking is Noxious Gaming right now.
Yeah, with Noxious Gaming, we're going to be meeting the aim of TSM, and MPR is actually the one that's going to be spotting them. In the meantime, back from Sharky left that fight altogether, and they're going to be heading on to a different direction, just trying to make themselves safe into the white, and they will be finding some sort of safety, but not in this one here. Blade Cito takes the shots, connects with one, and then the second one as well. Tomio falls, and that's pretty much done for back from Sharky. Just Blade Cito now remains in this place there, and I don't think he's going to be able to block off anybody else.
Penta just got wiped actually as well. TSM taking them down. Oh no, we have Trifoli, I believe, right?
Still alive, yeah. Trifoli, yeah. Trifoli, you can call him Trifoli, yeah. But still alive. He made it somehow. How did he do it?
Still, just barely sneaking in. Vis, that Mark 14, doing a lot of work right now. Here comes the follow-up nade. Looks like it might land true right next to him. Oh, it does do some damage. Not enough to kill him though. Vis hunting. APR there to support. Just looking. He's crawling very quickly. That's some high-level crawling right there. Just barely narrowing, avoiding death there, I would say, for Trifoli.
Yeah, that is true indeed. And you know what? I'll let you take over, Moses, for quite a while. I'm going to be sorting some stuff out here. Let us know what's happening somewhere else on the map, because it looks like Knights are about to find themselves a bit of fight on their hands.
Yeah, we see Survivor here coming in. His teammates, Kram and Voxic, just above. We have here Purge Gaming, relatively quiet so far. Had a tough game last game. Wick, I am Phil, and Sane, all just kind of chilling right now, trying to get some vision, but not a lot of vision available outside of that one little house they're in. Method also under pressure here. We go back to Noxious, engaging with Dynamic. LFO now doing a good job here in the late game. They are split, but they are taking those kills. Crypt going down. No support in the immediate area. Dynamic maybe opting not to loot as he's receiving fire from elsewhere. Can't see where that's coming from. We see here TSM in a decent spot now. Going to have to use that fence as they have to transition here. Knight's getting a little bit ahead of them. Trying to get that high ground, looking back towards the rest of TSM. Dynamic all by himself. Mini Fridge Jr. trying to support, but nothing there right now. So LFO still in this. And we see Udir taking shots down now onto Purge Gaming, having to come out of those houses. So Udir doing some damage, not able to get any downs just yet. You see Longo off screen knocking down Andy and finishing him. So now this transition is starting to heat up. Knights still full strength, but are receiving fire from TSM. Vexed still zoning out Zokden Nam. who have yet to make it into the zone ahead of Vex. So Vex
Yeah.
and Zokta and Nom still locked horns here, Boogie.
Yeah, I don't think this time around Vex are going to be going for the passive angle. I think they're rather going to go for the fight, and that they do indeed. It's going to be starting off here. Let's see if it pans out nicely. Zokta now trying to put some shots into them, but oh, check this one out. Vex come out on top. Branash has taken a heck of a lot of damage here. Larry's going to be going for the smoke, but that will actually only allow his enemies to make it kind of closer to where he should be. That smoke indeed deploys. Larry goes in for the second one closer to him as well. We're about to see here whether or not Zukta and Nom would rather choose to go in from the north side of the current white. Nope, they're heading straight into that smoke, and that might be a bit of a bait. Vex might throw a nade just to follow suit, and that would put Bruder in a very, very hard position. Now peeking in to the side of a tree line, trying to see if he can spot himself anybody there. Raz is on the other side. And, well, he's got an 8x to work with here and an AK. Very dominating, but that nade comes in. Indeed, Bruder does the dirty deed. And that's one member of Vex eliminated. 2 guys left alive in this situation. It looks like Zukta and Nom have the upper hand.
Yeah, this is something that, Vex having that first engagement here, now being surrounded as Dingle Raves getting on top of I'm Larry here. Looks like he's going to be the last man standing so far. No support. Oh, he's got one left. But it looks like Reese is just a little bit farther off screen, trying to support now. 3 of his teammates down. Dingle Raves receiving some fire, but look who's coming to party. We have Exalt Gaming coming almost out of nowhere, now flanking onto Zokta and Nom. So Breaksco and company leading the charge here, Boogie.
Yeah, it looks like Breaksco knows his weapon, comes into the fight there. Cronex takes a lot of damage, though. Wow. Reese, very, very good shots at him. It looks like Zokta and Nom are going to be joining powers with the former Vex squad, out of which there are none at this moment. Not just Reese trying to put in some shots. They will try and help each other out, sorta, so to speak, just to make sure that they make it alive into the next white, which is about to close into the next blue, and we will see where teams will have to rotate in just a second here. And this is going to be interesting because if the Knights have to rotate towards TSM, that's a very hard rotate. Going onto that open road is a very difficult area, and they don't. Okay, there you go. It's the other way around. TSM have to cross the road towards the Knights, and I think TSM are in a bit of a doozy here.
Yeah, they're going to have to take these shots. Like the one thing that's going to have to happen here is they're not going to be able to use any utility to cross, because the smoke grenades are not going to be useful as they're both on high ground looking at each other. So right now, Vis and company have to take these shots, taking some blasting here at Reese. Poor Reese been shot by every team on the map so far.
Yeah, pretty much.
But Knights have I think Knights have the advantage here against TSM. TSM has done an excellent job so far of using the zone to their advantage as well as that firepower. Now you see Drayton here getting right up on top of him. Here come the nades. Absolutely great call. So Knights showing some aggression here. That nade, I don't think he's going to be able to land it.
No.
Doesn't have the throwing arm to get all the way up across that fence, but that zone is going to start moving. So Vis and company need to get together and start pressing here and start landing some shots, as Knights are banged up. So they might be able to get a seam here if they can get it down here early.
Yes, indeed. Vis game speaking out with his 8x Mark 14, and it does happen indeed. Going to be him getting one on Survivor. And that's a good start right now for TSM to move in, but Smack gets knocked out himself. So this make things that much harder. Smack won't get rezzed as Vis Games gets himself to 1 sliver of life left. And this is definitely not an easy task for TSM right now, as they only have 2 guys left alive, and those 2 guys are nowhere near to try and save Vis.
Woo! That's another help here. Oh, so we've moved on to a different fight. I thought that was Vis jumping up to kill somebody. That was Jazza here now engaged with Blade Cedo.
Ooh, and there you go.
Well,
Jazza's gonna
somewhat
be
engaged.
Somewhat, yeah. There's some engagements are like that, I suppose. What?
Mini Fridge, he's right there, bro. He's right there, Mini Fridge.
Mini Fridge just wants to make sure that he gets safe into it, and now he will, that he found himself the frag. But will he, though? It looks like AIM is going to be putting in the shots against him. Jesus, man. AIM is an absolute beast with the AK, but not for long, because Krama is going to be taking him down. So, yeah, the Knights have indeed a slight upper hand in this situation here. Break, the last one staying alive for TSM at this moment in time. Won't get a chance to get a res into his fallen teammate because he was completely down. The Knights still have the upper hand. If Draydon would peek out, he would find Break indeed. And that he does. Putting the shots in. Break only takes 1 bullet though. So that will make things slightly easier, but Knights know of his location. So now it's pretty much Zukt and Nom, Leighton from Method, and Break from TSM versus the Knights, which are soon to be a full squad again.
Nade came out there. Might have been a smoke grenade there, yeah. So, you know what? All kudos to TSM. They did get a really tough circle there. I think that they played it quite well. Break's still up, so not out of this game. However, having to go to the defense of Leighton very close to him. But right now, Knights are in control. A little bit injured as Zokden Nam also with 3 up. So we'll see here if Knights can maintain that 4 up advantage. But right now it's up to anybody, and Grandma landing a nice shot there. So Knights not willing to go lightly here.
Bruder taking shots. Knights will receive them, but they won't be too happy on it, so they will return some fire. Bruder now tagged in heavily with his teammate Dingle to a sliver of life left. Not an easy task for Zuktan Nam to push into a circle that is definitely going to be quite an open area. And when I say open area, there are some trees, but as they make it through, there's not enough cover for Zuktan Nam to use to try and get closer to the Knights. They could try a northern flank, but they're already being spotted. There's already a crossfire set up by the Knights, as you can see, they're pretty well spread out. That will enable them to take shots against people covering around trees. Two guys now knocked out. Brenash is going to be taken down as well. That means that Bruder, I think Bruder, yeah, Bruder is all that remains. So it's pretty much a 1v1v4.
Look how Knights have positioned themselves. Look how Knights have positioned. Like the STC, they have that one outlier up by the top of the zone. They're making sure that the solos don't get too crazy. You can see here they have angles down onto them, and they're going to finish off the rest of Zokden now. So now Knights are fully in control. Now it's just a matter of who's going to get second place, as Leighton and Break are right next to each other with the zone about to start closing. Break will have the slower circle on his side, so it's going to be up to Leighton. I'm thinking that Break has the best chance of surviving here if he can just start crawling that way, and he is going to. So Leighton have to stand up here fairly quickly and get into this thing.
Break, not an easy task for him. Leighton kind of knows that there might be an enemy close to him.
They're reaving right now.
Yeah, the read, the mind games. Leighton gets some shots from the Knights. I don't know if they spotted him or if they were blind firing. But yeah, the two guys that are a bit lonely won't be alone too long, because the Knights will come in to help them out.
No,
Man, Knights are absolutely on fire tonight. I just want to point that out.
Yeah, absolutely. They've been handling their endgame positioning very well. And Break has been spotted out, so they're going to start converging on him. So Leighton might get the advantage here of just not having any attention on him currently. They do know that there's 2 solos left remaining, so Leighton and Break engaged in this race to second place right now. Leighton still crawling, and they're getting closer to each other. I think he's been spotted. Yes, he has. Leighton going down. So TSM will secure a second place finish unless Break can go absolutely ham here in the end game. He's got the pressure coming. Break, can you do it?
Well, no. I don't think there's a lot to ask for. That's going to be it. That's going to be it indeed. Krama closes things down with a GG and the chicken again for the Knights, who are coming up huge tonight. If they had 21 kills for the previous game, they're going to be finding themselves, let's count them up here, 10, 15? Is it 15 kills that I'm looking at? Yeah. That is not a bad performance. We're talking about, guys, this is the APL. This is the top of the top, cream of the crop teams in the world. And you have to understand, it's not easy getting a frag against these freaking Terminators. So the fact that Knights are really showing up tonight is furthermore testament to their power. So there you go. Really looking strong here.
Yeah, and considering how Method started this game, getting that third place, not super active on the frag area, but as far as just, using that initial push that they got from Rogue, formerly Air Station Mike, and coming in third place, that just speaks to their survivability, and not to take away from TSM handling their positioning well again. So TSM landing a fairly hard-earned second place considering all the disadvantages they faced from a circle perspective this game. Kudos to them as well, with Zokden Nam just harassing teams on the way to a fourth place, and Rogue coming in with that fifth place finish as well. So excellent second game.
Absolutely. And that will see us it for the second one. We're going to be coming back for the third match indeed. Don't you guys go anywhere. We'll see you guys in just a few. Nice.